another episode of Good Chatter. Josh Palet with Dave Palet. And I say this every time, but we should do these more often. It's my favorite thing that we do. We talk Chargers football. We talk crap in the kitchen all the time, but we don't do Good Chatter enough. And today we're going to talk about a few topics, but the first one will be, what's your favorite snack food?
I like that. Okay, what's your favorite snack food? Now, I don't consider myself like a snacker.
Me either.
Okay. Now, there are foods that I don't eat often because I feel terrible, to be honest with you, after I eat them. Yeah. But at the same time, they're like your cheat foods. You go, screw it, I'm not doing anything today. Like January 1st is a day. I'm not doing anything today. So it's a good time to just eat terrible. But a lot of people don't want to start the new year that way. Mm-hmm. So a couple things come to mind that you just threw that at me. One is I don't eat cereals because I don't know what it is, but sugar makes me feel terrible. Like almost like all the strength of my body disappears when I eat sugar. Mm-hmm. But when you go, okay, what's your favorite cereal? Because as a kid, I used to eat cereal all the time, but as an adult, I don't eat it at all. So like I used to eat like Frosted Flakes. I remember at my grandmother's house and Lucky Charms and you name it. But there's one that you introduced to me that I'm like, what the hell is this? And Josh comes home from college one day and goes, you ever have CTC? I'm like, what the hell is CTC? And he goes, you looked at me like I didn't understand anything. Like I was literally the dumbest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
And he goes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And I was like, well, take a bowl. You know, you walked in the house with it. And I pour a bowl and I'm like, that's fine. And that immediately you become addicted to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know what it is. I don't care. Anyone who says they don't like cinnamon, man, you are hooked on it. And you're like, this is outstanding. And I started eating this and I'm like, this is great. And I've literally, no joke, if no one's home, I can eat a whole box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
100%.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's the best cereal by far.
It is, by far. It is ridiculous, and it's so addictive. But the funny thing about it is I start doing the ratio thing, where I start going, there's a little bit of milk left in there, a little bit more CTC, you know? And then I like, there's no milk left in there, but I got CTC, got to pour the milk in. And now it becomes a ratio deal.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And now all of a sudden I'm going, I've eaten 75% of this box. And I'm so embarrassed I've eaten 75% of the CTC that I'm going to finish the next 25%. And then I'm going to go hide the box in the trash can so your mom doesn't go, what the hell's wrong with you? And that's where I'm at. But I am so hooked on it that I don't even buy it. Like I can't keep it in the house because I know it makes me feel terrible. But two, it's so addictive. It's insane. How much sugar am I pouring in? Like, you ever watch someone make Kool-Aid and you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of sugar. And then you're like, there has to be more sugar in CTC than Kool-Aid.
For sure. Well, it's just sugar and cinnamon. That's all like it is.
Awesome.
First off, you're an asshole for throwing the box away. That's not cool at all. Yeah, but I agree. CTC is definitely the best cereal. I don't know how many adults eat cereal on the regular.
Well, I think a lot of adults feel like I feel, where you used to eat it when you were a kid and you remember it being great. Then you go outside and you play. But all of a sudden, as an adult, for me at least, I'm so full that I can't eat anything the rest of the day. I feel bloated, but I feel really, really weak. I mean, to the point, if you were to say, go to the mailbox and go get the mail, I was like, I'm not strong enough to carry the envelopes in. Like, I have nothing left in my hands. And so I feel so bad after eating it. And then I feel guilty and, dumb for going, why did I eat that stuff? I feel like Will Ferrell when he was in the office. You're like, you remember, what are you doing? You had cake for lunch and then throwing it in the trash. But I don't. I eat it. And I'm like, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'll work out harder tomorrow. And then I regret it, and then it will take me about a year to go back to it. But I literally can't keep it in the house because I'm so addicted to it. There's certain things I don't keep in the house. I won't keep cookies or usually potato chips. All that stuff you become addicted to. My big problem is, honestly, it's the ratio problem, which leads me to because as I said, if there's milk left in the bowl, I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw the milk out. Well, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's this much milk. So I'm going to throw more CTC in there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the milk's gone and the CTC is too dry. I got to throw more milk in. So I mess up the ratio where I end up eating the whole box.
But does that apply to other foods?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one that stands out in snack food, it's nachos. I love nachos. Okay, I mean, like because we go to restaurants. Josh and I could do a show just on which restaurants have good nachos and bad nachos. A lot of restaurants think you have good nachos, you don't.
Yeah,
you're like, what the hell am I eating? What kind of cheese is this? What kind of meat is this? All that stuff. You guys mess it up so many times. But like Josh and I, we try and act like, hey, we're the kind of people that would share the nachos. But then all of a sudden you get that chip and you get like the 75% of the cheese just came off on one chip, and it like messes up the nachos for everyone, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, this is embarrassing. But in our mind, I've never talked to you about this.
Yeah.
You're thinking it's
I
like
got the chip.
right?
Yeah.
It's like breaking the wishbone.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I got the good one.
Yeah, it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I got the golden ticket.
Yeah, I can't be rude and take my hand and break the cheese off, so I'm just going to jam it all in my face.
100%.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. You don't think like that, you don't compete. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but when you go to, let's say, a party where they have the cheese and they have the nachos and then they have the jalapenos and you're making your own.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, this party's already good. Like, I really love nachos.
Yeah.
So, and I pour the cheese on, the jalapenos on, and then I'm ready to go. And then next thing you know, I have cheese left in my cup. And I'm going, now what am I going to do? We know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go add more chips. Well, next thing you know, I have too many chips, not enough cheese. So I got to go back.
A back and forth game. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Nonstop. And to the point where if you were just to watch me at a party, you realize I have 5 servings of nachos.
Yeah, that guy's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that guy's
ridiculous.
gross.
Yeah. I don't care what they think at that point. I'm like, I never get this. You know what I mean? No one's making it at our house because it's a hassle to clean up.
That's
You
true.
ever try and clean the cheese out of one of those crock pots?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But it looks like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It can't be good for the plumbing either. It can't be good for your stomach. But either way, I'm eating 5 of those at a time because I'm trying to figure out the ratio.
All right, let me ask you a question. At the gym, you know how you're self-conscious? Like, are people watching me do this? Do you think at parties people will watch you eat? Or do you think it's just in your head?
I don't know. I'm one of those guys that watches everything and then talks trash about you in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't even care. You guys can rip the hell out of me at any party I leave. That's fine. I got nachos. I mean, honestly.
You really won at the end of the day.
I do. That's how I feel. And it hardly ever happens. And I'm like, I love this. You don't understand how much I love jalapenos, cheese, and nachos. You know,
Okay.
The combination of those 3 of the chips, the jalapeno. If that drives me nuts, by the way, if people don't have the jalapenos. If it's just the cheese and the chips, I'm like, who half-assed it?
That's true. That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You got to have the jalapenos. I'm not even a jalapeno guy. And you got to have the jalapenos.
See, and I eat a ton of jalapenos because I think in my mind, watching my dad,
Yeah.
it's always a test of how tough am I. So I eat a ton of jalapenos.
Really?
A ton, yeah. I used to watch my dad eat them when I was a kid, go, how's he do it? And now as I got older, I was like, I'm going to do the same thing. And so it became one of those deals where how many jalapenos can I eat? So each chip has to have at least 3 jalapenos on the chip.
Doesn't that hurt your stomach more than cereal?
Oh, yeah.
Then why do you do it?
Because it's a test.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
Yeah.
You see how tough I am.
I get that. Okay, so all snacks are on the table. You're taking nachos over like calamari, over M&Ms, the classics.
Okay, I can't eat the M&Ms because M&Ms do the same thing. Do this that TTC does. But I can't do that at a party. In my head, and trust me, I'm looking at those M&Ms nonstop.
You can't just get a handful?
Nah, man, it's not going to go good. It's not. I'm that bad with sugar. I don't know what it is. But as far as calamari, that's a whole nother level there. Calamari is our thing.
100%.
Right.
You got to eat calamari.
First thing we do when they say, you want an appetizer? We open that menu up and we go, calamari on that menu? And then your mom complains every time, why do you order it? And then we love it. We absolutely love the calamari, right? That's the way we go. So anyway, it goes into other foods too. So as far as drive-thrus go, do you have a favorite drive-thru? Give me your top 3 favorite drive-thrus.
All right. I'm glad you asked me that question because I've discussed this with my fiance and we have the same 3. So you know we're
meant.
Really? Yeah. That's how you know we're meant for each other.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. That is.
We're going to get big together. All right, here you go. In order, okay? In-N-Out.
Okay.
All right. Love In-N-Out.
My favorite.
If you live in Southern California, you got to love In-N-Out. 2, Taco Bell.
Okay.
I get a lot of flack for Taco Bell, but anybody that, come on, put your pride aside. I know if you're Mexican, it's not authentic Mexican food. It tastes good.
Yeah, no one ever said it was.
Yeah, I'm not claiming, exactly. I'm not claiming it's authentic. It just tastes good. And then 3 is Chick-fil-A.
Okay, now it's funny you say Chick-fil-A. I'm with you. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
There's no one that dislikes Chick-fil-A. The problem is Chick-fil-A goes from being good drive-through food to it takes forever. It's not fast food.
Well, what's the difference between In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A?
You get your food faster. I don't care how long the line is at In-N-Out, and it could be a quarter of a mile long.
It usually is.
Like it moves faster.
It's true.
Chick-fil-A, it could be 3 cars, and it takes forever. And then when you get to the window, they're always shocked that you're there. I'm like, I just ordered it with that person back there holding the iPad who always calls me boss, which I hate. What do you want today, boss? You have a good day, boss.
Yeah.
Don't call me boss and don't call me champ. Don't call me any of that
Chief.
stuff. Yeah, don't call me chief is right.
Yeah.
And then I pull up and like, what are you having? Well, I just told that guy, you know what I have? It's on the computer screen.
That is true. That's annoying.
Now, here's my issue with Chick-fil-A. I got a couple issues.
Yeah, me too.
You do too?
Yeah, I do.
One, the goddamn driveway is way too narrow at every Chick-fil-A. Why? Like, I've been driving for years. I'm a good driver, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to mess up my rims.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, you're right about that.
And then two, when I get to the window, and I know this might sound ridiculous, but everyone knows Chick-fil-A is religious. They don't even open on Sundays. But man, every time I'm in the window, I'm like, don't cuss, don't cuss, don't cuss. And then I'm always on the phone. Like, I'm one of those guys that I get on the phone as soon as I get in the car. So I'll be talking to a guy on the other end who will be dropping, so fuck that guy. And then I'm like, oh man, did they just hear that in the restaurant? And I'm thinking in my mind, don't cuss. And then that guy over there is sitting there cussing like crazy. And then I can say to my friends, because this is what guys do, hey man, I'm in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, don't cuss.
And they should understand what that means.
Yeah. And they go, it's on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's on. And so I'll be looking at the window waiting for my order, and then the guy through the radio will go, hey, is she pretty? What's she look like? Ask her if she dates guys 37 years old. I'm like, you weren't 37 years old. And then they can hear everything. And then finally I've learned to just be able to mute them. I found the button to mute them, but I know what they do. But Chick-fil-A becomes a panic attack for me of I want my food, but I got to remember don't cuss. I'm thinking I'm going to say the F word because I say it a lot.
Yeah.
And then my buddy's in the radio sitting there through the speakers, screaming his head off, asking me to ask the girl out on a date. It's embarrassing as hell.
It gets weird.
Yeah, so Chick-fil-A always makes me uncomfortable. I have anxiety going through Chick-fil-A.
What about food, though? Is it top three for you, or what's your top three?
Dude, you nailed it. I think you got all of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think you got the best ones.
You're a big McDonald's guy, though.
McDonald's is quick. Like, if you're just going, I'm starving and I got to go, at least you know with McDonald's, you're going to get your food. It's going to taste the same. And by the way, I don't think anyone in the history of food has ever ordered French fries at McDonald's and made it home with the French fries still in the bag, right? Doesn't everyone eat the French fries right away?
Oh, you have to, or else it doesn't taste the same.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And once you eat one, you go, I'm just going to have one before I get home. And then you're next thing you know,
It's like a potato chip. You have to eat all of them. Yeah, you're 100% right about that.
And that's where I'm at on the Chick-fil-A. By the way, Chick-fil-A, for people who don't understand, is that the breakfast sausage burrito at Chick-fil-A is underrated.
It's gas.
Yeah,
It's so good.
People don't realize they have it.
People don't go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast enough. Or Taco Bell. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Taco Bell has good breakfast too.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know why Chick-fil-A started throwing in those goddamn tater tots in the burritos, but guess what? I order them and I eat them too.
Yeah, you're there for it?
Yeah, I'm like, who threw the tater tots in here?
Oh, no.
I didn't order that, but all right, I don't throw food away, so I guess I'll eat that tater tot, but that's where I'm at.
What about sauces? Do you ever think about which place has like the best sauce? Because everybody claims, Chick-fil-A is the automatic choice.
Okay, for me, there's one fast food place where to me you can't eat their food without their sauce.
I know what you're going to say.
It's Arby's.
It's Arby's. You have to use the Arby's sauce.
That Arby's sauce. When I was a kid growing up, we literally had Arby's sauce in our refrigerator because my sister would steal it off the table and take it home. Yeah.
She would steal Arby's sauce?
She would steal that, that you spray it through. She would steal it.
What's her problem?
Dude, my sister had a lot of problems. I'll rat her out right now. The other thing she would do, she'd go to bowling alleys in high school.
Don't.
And she'd go... Don't rat her out.
No. I don't even know where you're going with this.
And she would take she'd walk in with $5 flip flops, and she would go in and say, what size shoe are you? And she'd say size 5, 6, whatever the hell she is. Give them her shoe, and then they give her the bowling shoes. And then she'd just walk out with the bowling shoes and wear the bowling shoes to school.
Is that cool? Bowling shoes?
I think so. Who knows?
Like if somebody wore bowling shoes in school now, you think they're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't wear them. They hurt your feet. I mean, how many times do you bowl and you put your real shoes back on? You're like, oh man, my shoes have never felt better.
Yeah.
That and ice skating. You're like, oh, thank God, man, my feet felt great. But yeah, she used to wear bowling shoes to school like in the mid 80s. Her and her friends did it, but she would steal bowling shoes out of the bowling alley.
Yeah, her arches had to be on fire by the end of the day.
Arby's sauce and bowling shoes. Ask her about it.
I will. I mean, I definitely will. Yeah, I agree with you. Arby's sauce was going to be my answer for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I love Arby's sauce. You can't eat the food without Arby's sauce. Also,
okay, yeah.
Two places have better ketchup than everywhere else.
Is that right?
My opinion. This is my opinion.
Okay.
All right. McDonald's, I think, has phenomenal ketchup from the packet.
McDonald's is better Diet Cokes too.
That is true. I'm not even a Diet Coke guy, and that's facts. And then In-N-Out, the fresh ketchup you can do right there when you pump the thing. Amazing. I think, and I like the French fries. Everybody rags on the In-N-Out French fries. I like the French fries.
You got to eat them first. If you order whatever you order at In-N-Out, you got to eat the French fries first.
It's true.
Otherwise, they go cold. That's it. All right. Speaking about it, things that annoy you a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's one lately that it does drive me nuts. Is if I'm on the phone in the car, even if I'm in the house, but no one uses a landline anymore.
Yeah.
And you say goodbye to the person you're talking to. And you're going, all right, bye. And then they don't hang up. and you can hear them because I always have my ear pods in. You have
This happened to you
earpods in
yesterday.
too?
I heard you talking to somebody.
Happens every day to me. Every day. Why don't you guys hang up the phone?
People have bad phone etiquette.
They do. So I sit here and I go, you know what? I'm not going to be the guy who hangs up the phone. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wait for them. I'll say bye. And they'll go, bye. And then I'll just look at my phone and just watch the seconds tick. I'm like, they're waiting for me. Now it's a standoff.
What?
It's a straight out standoff.
How old are you?
Who's going to hang up? I'm 53.
You do the waiting game?
Because I'm tired of being the guy that has to hang up.
Why? What's wrong with that? You think they got the better of you?
Yeah, because they're doing it to me.
You're like the people in high school, I broke up with them. They didn't break up with me.
No. Here's the deal. They don't want to reach into their pocket and hang up. They're hoping I hang up.
You got that little AirPod. Just click it.
I don't want to. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, fuck you, fine. And then I have to hang up. But it drives me crazy. And I'll just watch the seconds go. Sometimes it goes like 10, 11 seconds and nobody hangs up.
What is going on?
Yeah.
That is nuts. I didn't know you do that.
Yeah. Oh, it's my new thing. If like I'm not going to be the one that
Don't
hangs
make it
up.
your new thing. That's it's dumb.
Why do I always have to be the guy to push the red button?
Is it men or women or both that do this? It has to be men.
Both. No.
Really?
Women more than men. Women don't ever hang up. They don't ever hang up.
Because they don't want to, or they just don't want to be the person that hangs
it's
up.
not like you're 14 years old and you don't want to hang up on your girlfriend.
That's
it's
what
not
it sounds like.
No. Just people are lazy. That's my assumption. Either the phone's across the room and they they don't want to hang up, or they don't want to take it out of their pocket. Speaking of that, I messed up the other day. Kind of embarrassing. I bought a new TV for the house.
Yeah.
And I made arrangements for someone to install the television. And the day the guy was supposed to come install the new TV, put it on the wall, I get a phone call at the exact time that the person was supposed to show up saying, hey, I'm not going to make it today, but I'll see you in 2 days. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Like, I ordered this now. The Christmas was yesterday. The TV's supposed to be on the wall today. And now you aren't going to show up till Thursday.
Yeah.
And so I'm upset. And he goes, hey, man, I know you're upset. I said, I am upset because this isn't what we agreed upon. And I said, well, at this point in my mind, I don't have a choice. So I'll see this guy in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, I'll see you Thursday. And I take my phone and I go like that. I go, motherfucker, like that, right into the phone. And I put my phone down and then I hear something and I put my phone and I missed the button. So I take my phone, I put it in my ear, and the guy goes, hey, man, did you just call me a motherfucker? And I was like, yeah, dude, I did. I'm sorry. I go, I apologize. He goes, I told you I'll be there on Thursday. I go, I know. Okay. And so when he showed up to put the TV up, I'd apologize again to him to go. That was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, and he only ended up being the nicest human being of all time.
He was.
He did 3 TVs for you.
I gave him a $100 bill as a tip. That was nice.
It was nice of you.
Okay. I don't know what to say, but I did. It was embarrassing. That awkwardness of, hey, remember called him a screamed motherfucker in the phone?
That is embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. All right, got a Jake story for you. As I mentioned, Christmas just passed. There's nobody that loved gifts more than your brother Jake. All right, you know, right? Jake's birthday is in September. It could be July. Hey, just give me the gift now, okay?
Yeah.
I really want this. Just buy this for me. Come September, we're all good.
Yeah.
Jake, we don't want to do that, especially your mom. No, Jake, it won't be special on your birthday, but this is what I want. We're here. So just buy it for me now. And then I'd buy it, or your mom would buy whatever he wanted. And then you give him the gift. And he pulled the same move for Christmas all the time. And then here comes his birthday. Hey, what the fuck? You guys just gonna act like I'm not having a birthday? And we're like, we got you your gift. That was 2 months ago. That doesn't count. Remember, he always tried to double up on gifts?
Yeah.
And man, it drove me crazy. But he always played the game. And he had no shame at all.
No.
Jake would call his aunt. You know, Aunt Mary, it's Jake, Christmas and my birthday. I think you forgot it. Because no one remembers what you got him, you know. Did I, Jake? All right, I'll send some money over right now. I apologize. He goes, all right, Aunt Mary. Well, next year you'll get it. Thank you. And then he'd always double up. He'd go through family and call to make sure he got another gift because nobody ever remembers what you got that person anyway. And they're thinking, maybe I did forget.
Yeah.
And remember, he was the king of doubling up on gifts.
I forgot about that.
He'd guilt you right into it. Yeah, it was a dirty trick, but that was his move. He'd pull something off in July, and then you'd pull something off in October for Christmas, and then tell you forgot. And then you'd feel terrible, and then get him something again.
Yeah.
Or they'd Venmo him money.
God dang.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was a dirtbag thing to do.
Yeah, he'd always complain, like, where's my gift today?
Yeah.
The gift 2 months ago doesn't count when he would tell you, I want it today.
Today.
I'll remember this in September.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah,
what a dick.
It was a dick move.
Yeah, 100%.
But he always, no shame at all, man. No shame. That's just the way it went.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Good Chatter with Josh Palet and Dave Palet. Make sure you check out the rest of the JP25 Media channel, Perfectly Twisted with Nicole Eggert, and our other shows as well. Thank you.